Imagine spending your entire life in a crowded space where you can barely move and never seeing the outdoors or experiencing a natural environment. For millions of animals raised on factory farms, this is a daily reality. Factory farms are large industry operations that produce things like meat, eggs, and dairy products at a very low cost. While they provide food for many people, the harmful effects on animals, the environment, and public health make factory farming a practice that should be banned worldwide. Factory farming may seem like an efficient way to feed the population, but the hidden costs are far greater than many people realize. First, factory farms create serious health problems to animals. According to the ASPCA, animals raised on factory farms are often kept in cages, crates, or overcrowded pens where they have little room to move or engage in natural behaviors. Many animals never see sunlight or experience fresh air during their entire lives. Chickens raised for meat are often packed into large sheds with tens of thousands of other chickens, while breeding pigs spend much of their lives in crates so small they can't even turn around. The ASPCA also report that many animals experience serious injuries and stress due to these conditions. Animals are living creatures that can feel pain and suffering. Yet the factory farms often treat them as products instead of living beings. Many animals are also bred or fed to grow unnaturally fast in order to maximize the profit, which can cause additional health problems and suffering. Second, factory farms damage the environment. Large factory farms produce an enormous amount of waste and contaminate rivers, streams, and groundwater. According to the ASPCA, the animal agriculture contributes about 14% of human-caused greenhouse gases in the world. The waste produced by a factory farm releases harmful gases such as methane and ammonia into the atmosphere. These gases contribute to climate change and poor air quality. In addition, raising billions of animals requires a huge amount of land, water, and food for the animals. Large areas of farmland are used to grow feed for livestock instead of food that could be consumed directly by people. The environmental impact on factory farms affects not only the animals, but the surrounding communities and future generations. Third, factory farms create serious health risk to the public. Animals living in a crowded condition are more likely to become sick, which often leads to farmers relying heavily upon antibiotics. According to the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, antimicrobials resistant bacteria have been found in livestock and poultry around the world. When antibiotics are overused, the bacteria becomes resistant, making infections in humans more difficult to treat. This problem is a growing threat that the effectiveness of the important medicine that the doctors rely on every day. Unsanitary conditions on factory farms can also increase a risk of food contamination and a disease outbreak. Public health experts have warned that extensive animal farming can contribute to a spread of disease and antibiotic resistance, creating a risk for everyone. In addition to harming the animals, the environment, and the public health, factory farms can negatively affect workers and nearby communities. Farm workers often face difficult working conditions and exposure to harmful gases and waste. People who live near the large factory farms may experience some unpleasant odors, some water pollution, and reduced air quality. These impacts show that the consequences of factory farming extend far beyond the farm itself. Some people like to argue that factory farms are necessary because they produce food efficiently and keep prices low. While this is true that factory farms produce a large amount of food and low prices, that should not come at the expense of animal welfare, our safety, and the environment safety. There are alternative farming methods that provide more humane treatment for animals while reducing environmental damage. Substantial farming practices, improved animal welfare standards, and support for local farms can help create a food system that is both productive and responsible. While other people may argue that banning factory farms would make food more expensive, however, the true costs of a factory farms are often hidden. Taxpayers ultimately pay for environmental cleanup, healthcare costs related to populations, and antibiotic resistance. When these costs are considered, factory farming is not as inexpensive as it appears. For these reasons, the government should ban factory farms and support more humane and sustainable farming practices. By making these changes, we can protect animals from unnecessary suffering, reduce environmental damage, and provide a great public health for everybody. Also, creating a more ethical food system. Factory farming should be convenient, but convenience should never outweigh the responsibility. It is time to move towards a food system that values both people and animals. Thank you.